Content partners at Al Jazeera reporting that the Israeli military, they're saying their warplanes attacked a school complex in a refugee camp area of central Gaza. Joining us live this morning for this breaking news alert, national security expert with the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Good morning to you, Ken. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you.
Glad to have you. Following this breaking news alert this morning, the Israeli military claiming ownership of this recent attack, a school complex in Gaza affected, also learning a hospital having to be closed down as a result as well. If you could catch us up, please.
Sure. Throughout Gaza City, the IDF has announced evacuation orders, moving Palestinians out of Gaza City. A lot of Palestinians had returned back to the north here, but the IDF has started operations in Gaza City because they had information that Hamas had returned to Gaza City and was very active in rebuilding their infrastructure in Gaza City. So yesterday and today and overnight, IDF has been doing operations throughout Gaza City. In fact, there is more operations going on in Gaza City right now than there is anywhere else in the Gaza Strip, and more operations going on in Gaza in Gaza City than there has been in many months. Gaza City is now the focus of the IDF's operations inside the Gaza Strip, and this is because of the fact that they failed to hold the territory after they had cleared it.
Ken, to provide some context, and I know you've said this in recent interviews, these refugee camps, these were where the Palestinian people were told to go, where they could seek refuge, where they wouldn't be heard from this war in Gaza. And yet we're finding that is not the case. To provide further context, if you don't mind, learning that this school complex was attacked, some wondering this morning, okay, did the Israeli military choose to attack this school knowing that potentially there would be students and teachers inside? Or is this one of those situations where we're learning that Hamas is using these schools and tunnels, as we've seen in recent months, as a place to hide and also hide hostages?
We don't know at this point. The IDF has, or the Israeli Air Force has claimed that was their planes that hit this school, but this school is in Nuseirat, not in Gaza City. This is in the Nuseirat refugee camp. But it is both the hospitals and the schools here. They are close to places where Hamas is operating. Hamas puts their tunnels, they put their weapon systems inside the populated areas, not way separate from the populated areas, but instead within the populated areas. Therefore, when the Israeli military is attacking those positions, they consequently end up hitting or come very close to places like this school. So it's not surprising that the school would come under attack because, again, they are increasing their activity against Hamas in these areas.
With that statement you just made, it poses the question, what's the likelihood of a ceasefire then? If we continue to see fighting and we continue to see things ramp up, we continue to see ground invasions after we're told that this is the, quote, last invasion that will happen in an area, what's the likelihood of a ceasefire as we know negotiations and talks are underway?
Well, that very point has been raised by Hamas. That is, Hamas says that these attacks going on in Gaza City is putting the ceasefire negotiations in jeopardy. That if they continue these type of operations, that Hamas is going to walk away from the negotiation table, that they are not going to continue their attempt to move towards a ceasefire. So indeed, these operations are jeopardizing potential ceasefire. But at the same time, remember that Prime Minister Netanyahu said that priority number one was to eliminate Hamas. And consequently, if Hamas is becoming active again in Gaza City, then IDF has to focus in on where that activity is. But as we've talked about before, the fact that Hamas is one of the parties negotiating this, and the Israelis say that one of their goals is to neutralize Hamas totally, It makes it very hard to negotiate with when one of the partners is going to be neutralized by the other partner.
Ken Gray, always a pleasure having you join us on Live Now from Fox for these breaking news alerts. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
So Hamas is actually of two minds, or is that part of Hamas that wants to get the ceasefire going, that they want to get this settled? Then you have the other part, which is characterized by Yahya Sinwar, who wants to continue the fight with the IDF. And this division between the plans, the strategy of Hamas is now coming to the forefront. And you see it with their increased activity also in Gaza City, consequently bringing the Israelis into there. Like I said, there's more activity going on in Gaza City right now by both the IDF and Hamas than there has been in months.
Ken Gray, always a pleasure speaking with you here on Live Now from Fox. Thank you so much for your expertise and perspective. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.